What if I told you it's possible to land a bookkeeper position in less than a year, even without an accounting degree? Meet someone I know named Marcus. He used to work in retail management, earning $32,000 a year. He dedicated 6 months to learn bookkeeping fundamentals and landed his first accounting job as a junior bookkeeper, boosting his salary to $45,000. Now he's a senior bookkeeper earning $62,000 a year. Marcus's story is impressive, and quite frankly, not everyone can land a job this quickly. But I've seen tons of people transform their careers through accounting in under a year. This is Sarah. She was a restaurant manager. She learned bookkeeping skills and landed her first accounting position within 10 months. Now she's an accounting manager earning twice what she made in her previous career. So are you curious how they did it? And if you can achieve the same results? In this video, I'm sharing a step-by-step system plus actionable tips to help you break into the world of bookkeeping and accounting, even if you are starting from scratch. All right, the biggest mistakes I see beginners make is that they try to learn a bunch of different things like QuickBooks and Excel and tax preparation, because somebody online told them these are important skills. So they assume that simply learning a few popular tools automatically makes them hireable. But it doesn't work that way. These skills have specific purposes and are often used in different kinds of accounting roles. Some of these areas are also unrelated, so learning all of them together doesn't really prepare you for any specific kind of position. So instead of focusing on random accounting topics, the first step is figuring out your target role. Do you want to do accounts payable, payroll, full cycle bookkeeping? This decision will tell you exactly what you need to learn, so you wouldn't waste time learning things that you're not going to use. The next step is finding a learning path for the kind of work you want to do. For example, for bookkeeping, you need to learn accounting fundamentals, journal entries, reconciliations, and a bunch of other stuff. Now, this applies to everything. If payroll processing gets you excited, that's a whole different set of skills. So just do a simple search like Bookkeeper Learning Path or Accounts Payable Career Path. There are tons of roadmaps online. The next step is actually learning, and this is where I've seen a lot of people make common mistakes that slow them down. The first mistake is that they go on YouTube and watch random, disconnected tutorials trying to learn bits and pieces. It takes far longer to learn something properly this way. The other common mistake I see is people go on platforms like Udemy and take these super long courses thinking that more hours mean they will learn more. In reality, they often never finish those courses. And all of those unfinished courses pile up and make them feel less motivated. Here's the right way to learn. Find a properly structured program you think you can commit to and finish. There are so many excellent options out there. Course Careers has a comprehensive accounting program. For example, pick a resource whose teaching approach you like, and then dedicate yourself to actually finishing the material. Now, simply watching videos is not enough. Bookkeeping is about applying procedures to real situations. So you have to constantly practice. And that's what I love about accounting. That's what drew me to this field and not something else. Because with bookkeeping, you don't need to memorize everything. You need organizational and analytical skills. And with practice, you will naturally remember the processes you need to know. Now, the best way to practice is working through real scenarios and case studies. Just apply what you're learning to sample transactions and practice reconciliations, If the exercises seem too complex, start with simpler ones. It's a great way to build skills that will actually help you in real jobs and support your progress. Now, as you practice and complete exercises, make sure to document your work. Create a portfolio of sample work you've done. Maybe sample reconciliations, process documentations, or Excel templates you've created. This is like a professional portfolio for bookkeepers. You can show this to potential employers during interviews. Plus, you can organize it clearly to demonstrate your capabilities. There are also lots of resources online where you can see examples of good accounting work and learn from experienced professionals. Now, let's talk about interviews. A common mistake I see people make is not preparing for those bookkeeping interviews. You can know your accounting fundamentals really well, but interviews are their own challenge, especially at companies that are particular about their processes. They often ask specific questions about reconciliations, about month-end close procedures, about how to handle discrepancies. These are the kinds of topics that someone with experience would know. So if you don't have prior accounting experience, make sure to study these scenarios. In reality, you might not face every situation in your day-to-day work, but preparing for these questions helps you demonstrate your problem-solving abilities and stand out in interviews. So along with all the skills you have in your learning path, make sure to study common interview questions and prepare thoughtful answers. A very useful approach is to practice behavioral interview questions. You can research common accounting interview questions online and prepare specific examples. Also, there are resources that offer interview preparation guidance so you can practice and get feedback about your weak spots and where you need to improve. All right, once you're confident in your skills, start applying for jobs. But keep in mind, you may apply for 50 jobs, only hear back from 10 to 15, and get 3 to 5 interviews. It's totally normal. Don't take it personally. And definitely don't let it discourage you. Remember, you're not the only one applying. The key here is persistence. Keep applying for new positions and also connect with recruiters on platforms like LinkedIn until you land your first role. Quite frankly, landing the first bookkeeping job can be the hardest part. But once you get your first position and have some real workplace experience under your belt, finding those next opportunities becomes a whole lot easier. Now, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'm here to help you. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more useful content about breaking into accounting.